is Augustin. I'm in the mobility service space roughly for 10 years now. We develop different mobility topics and projects for the Volkswagen Group and Volkswagen brand. So that's one part of my life, and then the second part of my life is like my passion, absolute passion for like shared mobility in the different verticals, from micromobility, vehicle on demand, and mobility on demand, where I deep dive in a lot of data content that I could find, and then put together their like analysis and reports that I'm very happy to share. Some weak signals that I see is like in also in like the model split of transportation. So people are moving, or like I would assume, and that this is also what I get from the market and from my network, is that public transport will be less important in the future, and people will move more towards like individual mobility. There, like a weak signal is going in the direction of like, okay, that car is getting more attractive again, and also that there will be like a market, a bigger market for electric or like two-wheelers in shared mobility, but I would also assume in like purchased and private mobility there as well. And a second weak signal, or another area that I see, is mobility providers like big networks like Bolt in Europe, or also like FreeNow, former MyTaxi. They are like pivoting towards delivery services, as you already mentioned. And there this could be like a weak signal for that, okay, there might be an additional market besides like their core business. But for me, it's then also like important to see how this is developing, because like delivery business in the past was like not that sustainable. Maybe that changed now because that there's more demand from customer side because of the crisis, and that also the networks are large enough to have like a profitable multi-vertical business like ride sharing, shuttle services, delivery in like one app or on one platform. That's number two. And number three, that's what I find also interesting, is that public and private companies are collaborating more together. This could be also for me like a start of like better integration of private mobility services and public transport, public mobility landscape. You see the like first signals in Hamburg, where like the city of Hamburg is partnering with different on-demand mobility services. You see it also in the US, where the cities announced to reduce the costs or the fees for scooters, subsidizing bike rides, etc. So I think this could be also like the start of future development, that like private mobility operators in the different verticals and public transportation authorities or cities are working together and see how like a one system could be set up. Yes, I mean, the changes will be definitely there after the crisis. So I think the users will less rely on public transport because they have fears. They will also rely less on like shared mobility services, where they are not sure that either the company is disinfecting or cleaning the vehicle often enough, and they, like, if you ask me, they will shift more to own vehicle usage, like either getting a car, doing more like long-term rentals, or like getting maybe also like an e-bike, a scooter, where they then ensure like safety and cleanliness, and maybe then also have be then there like faster like in the daily traffic, depending on how then also like infrastructure measures will develop and will keep in place. I mean, you see there's some developments also at the moment that we have like bike lanes that are like kind of pop-up bike lanes that are set up for like alternative infrastructure for two-wheelers like scooters, bikes, etc. If they will be there in cities permanently, this could have then also like an impact on how mobility will be after the crisis. If you ask me, there will be definitely like a consolidation or rearrangement of the service provider landscape, depending then also by the different verticals. Like if you look at shared micromobility, like kick scooter sharing, if you ask me, there's like a full reboot. So basically all of the services, maybe not here in Germany and Spin in the US, they have like suspended their operations. Let's see which one will survive there. But I'm there also optimistic. Okay, if the existing players are not surviving, you will see the new players with like new funding, a bit like what you have seen in China after the bike share crisis. So OFO, they went bust, but then other players like Hello Bike, for example, started then after the crisis. So that could also happen like after Corona, that existing players disappear and new players in the same vertical with maybe a slightly adopted business model, better hardware, etc., will try to get into this vacuum then. If you look at ride hailing, ride sharing, I bet there also that small players it will be difficult for them to survive. Maybe some of them will shift towards more than public private partnerships and offering them the software for like running public transport systems and on-demand systems then there, instead of like operating their own service.